can see, I got the everything back into the cabinet here. Cleaned it, CRT the whole inside out where I put it in there. Tuner's back in, speaker soldered back on and off volume, put back in. Everything's plugged in. I think I didn't miss anything here. So what I'm going to do is turn it on, plug it in, turn it on, and see what we got. I want to measure some voltages on the CRT that I know what is what. Alright, let's plug it in to the variac. Give him, let's see, make sure I did. This is what's off right there. Everything's in my way. Yeah, it's off. Alright, I'll turn on the variac. Put my analyzer on, see what kind of voltage. 120. What do we got here? 123. And I got exactly 123 on the house current. So, house voltage. So I'm going to turn it on. Make sure everything's right. Yeah. Here we go. It's going. That light's going to come on because it's bright. Because which way does it go? There it goes. There. It'll come down. I did clean it. See. Okay, I got raster. Low screen, no vertical, horizontal problems in that area. So that's a good thing. Alright, let me set up my meter and we'll see what kind of voltages we're getting. DC. I wonder if you can see that. Yeah, you should, hopefully. I don't get no. Turn this light out, maybe. Alright. Let's put the ground to chassis. And let's check G2 out. Oh, I can see that. I can see the picture. Is it brighter or lighter? It's getting brighter or lighter, darker or lighter. Just by putting this meter on there, I can tell. Wow, 450 volts. Roughly, it's fluctuating, but around 450. I think that's way too high. I'm thinking 250 volts. I wonder what these grid cathodes, green ones. Alright, there's the green cathode, 127. Here's the red one, 127, and then the blue, 121. It's okay. Should be alright. Which one did I have that bad resistor on? R23. 523. I might want to change that. No, because that's going to the green cathode. Yeah, it's going to the green. It has nothing to do with it. I'm still getting 127 volts. I thought, yeah. Let's go before the resistor, see what I get. 125 versus 1 127. Even that, wait a minute. Yeah. So G2 is this one. It's 450, and I'm thinking more like 250. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a marker and mark that, and then I'll document it. We got G2 at 450 volts DC. Now that's cool, because I'm going to change it in a minute when I'm going to adjust that and see what happens. And if worse comes worse, I can put it back. So I've got G2 at 450 volts. And that is the screen grid. So let me mark that. I wonder if these markers will work. No. Yeah, that one will work. It's too dirty now. It's not all that great marker. I mean, I can see it. Hopefully. I know I'm in the neighborhood of 450 volts. I think that's excessive. Alright. Try it one more time. G2, I want to watch that picture. Yeah, it gets darker. 450. 51. Fluctuating. Okay. So, we know the heater's working. I don't know any other areas that I could check. So what I want to do is put a DVD in. Turn this off. Yeah, that volume control is a lot better now. Okay, let's turn this Variac off too. So let me turn it around and I'll hook up the DVD player and see if any changes just by cleaning it, because I didn't replace any parts. Everything was good. So I'll be right back as soon as I hook up the player. Okay, it just took a minute or two to hook up this DVD. I got this screen connected back and back with its jumper. It's only on there like on by a thread, so I gotta be really easy. So let me get this meter hooked up first in case that thing comes off. I'm prepared to find a chassis ground. Here's, wow, ain't giving me much to work with, but we'll put you right there. And that's staying in place so far. It's only holding on that clip here by a grid. It'll probably come off. I wonder if you can see this meter. Well, think I'm all the way out on it. Yeah, and I don't want to push the chassis back because the grid clip's going to come off. So I'll just lay here. Here was a paper clip, but it was inside this speaker. Some kid. Luckily he didn't hurt the speaker. Okay. Got that on. Yeah, some little kid had to sit there and stick that in there. I kind of opened it up because I was checking voltages. I went in the garbage. I got plenty of them. Alright. Let me put this on. DC volts. Turn the variac on at 120. 123 again, same thing. Alright, we're going to turn it on and it's going to come on that light real bright first. Yep, and it'll go down. Perhaps I'll turn this down so you can see the picture. See how this, it's not right. Alright. I thought you're supposed to close. Okay. Turn this volume down. I don't want to get any copyright problems. Volume control is clean now. Alright, I'm ready to hit pause in a minute when I get to the... Hell's pause right there. Yeah, it's still blurry. It's still blurry. Grins and giggles, I'll stay on there. And they're going to, it won't let me pause it on that part. I got the focus, I'm going to turn the focus just for grins and giggles, but it'll want to get worse. God, I'm afraid of sticking my hands back here now. So you can see that it's making it. Okay, I can see this. So you can't read that. Did I pull off? Alright, the focus is all the way up. You can see some of it, but it ain't right. Now, what did I do? Pull out my well, I pulled it off that. Did it come off the CRT? It's only my threads and it stayed. DC, let's go. Wow. Now I'm at 475. Okay. So we tried the grid. Now we're going to try that screen. I marked it. I documented it on what it was supposed to be. I'm going to cut that down and see what I got. If I can get that little screwdriver that. Hey, there's 280. That ain't bad. And what did it do to it? See, it made it darker. I knew it would. And look at this. It's not a shadow. So we'll bring it back up to... So maybe I'm wrong on this one. I figured that would make it just brighter or lighter. I didn't think it would. I don't want to go. I'm at 430, 48. Where's about? Oh, that's a little bit too much. But what did it do? I want to make it brighter. See, it makes it brighter, but it doesn't clear it up. Hell, I'm going over 5. That's not going to help me. See if I can get back down to 5. 450, wasn't it? Around that area. 430, boys. Touchy. There it is. That's about where it was. Well, got 4. See if I can bring it out here without knocking that wire off. You can see that it's 450. Fluctuating, going up and down, but it's pretty much the way it was. Well, I guess it is what it is. I can't do nothing with it.
You suck!
So it's tired, I think. This television has got a lot of hours on it. Alright. As you can see, I got it going. It's perfectly... it's in focus now. No focus issues. It isn't the CRT or the flyback, so that's good news. And the reason I was searching in that area because, well, I had the focus adjusted and it was all the way to the max, and it was still out of focus. So I thought, well, it's either the flyback transformer or it could be the CRT with the focus grid. So that's where I'm coming from, why that's out of focus. And as you can see, it's not. And what it is, let me see if I can move this camera over. It's not, it's throwing me for a loop. Maybe I gotta get a light on. But anyway, you can see that it's focused. It's perfectly clear, so I'm gonna cut this off. And that I got that fixed. Let's turn it off. Still got that, but it goes away. But when I turn it on now, I turn the TV on, you'll notice that bulb does not go bright right off the bat. It just slowly starts warming up as the TV warms up. And I'm pulling 35.6 watts, and it says 66 watts on the back of the set. So I'm happy that I found it, but it's really, really crazy. You can see this. Let me see if I can turn this on. Let me turn this TV off. You can see that it's in focus now. Hopefully you can see that. That's the plug off of the degaussing coil that's going around the CRT. That was the problem. I got to thinking and I go, well, okay, now process of elimination. It's either the CRT or the flyback. Okay, but what if? So I went back and I started looking and go, well, the anode, you know, second anode, it's getting high voltage. The neck board back there. Alright, so we had one resistor that's a little over value. That's for, what was it, for the green cathode. but I wasn't sure about the focus going into pin 1 on that CRT from the flag back. There's no way I could measure that. And so I thought about it. I said, well, let me see. And everything had to relate to the CRT. And I said, well, perhaps, just for grins and giggles, I'll disconnect the gauzing coil. And that was it. Excuse me. That would be it just don't make sense. Why this is... I measured this. And it's 4.2 ohms on the coil, the gauzing coil. And I specifically remember checking that thermistor. There's a thermistor is bad on this, back end and back. And I remember checking that, and actually you're checking it cold. And I don't remember the value because I remember checking so many resistors and everything in there that, but it did check good. I remember that. And it has to, at a certain extent. And it's a PTC type. That's a positive temperature coefficient, where you get low resistance. Your degauzing coil is working, and then when the thermistor heats up, it throws a lot of resistance into it to it won't burn up your degauzing coil, and it just takes it out of play. They have another type. Let's see what that one. Think of it. It's called NTC. It's negative temperature coefficients, and I'm familiar with them too, where it's like an inrush thermistor, where it starts out at high resistance, and then when it gets hot or warm, it starts lowering down where there's barely any resistance at all. Then you get full voltage. You'll see those. And they also have, if I can pronounce that, I think it's posistors. But I definitely saw the thermistor that in there, and it has to be the positive temperature coefficient 1, or it's throwing full voltage into the coil, and then as it heats up, then it puts resistance in it and takes the coil out of play. Now, why it had to work to a certain extent, I'm thinking it's throwing too much resistance, I don't know. Otherwise, because this degauzing coil still checks out good, so it had to work somehow because it didn't burn up that degauzing coil. So, and this is the last thing that I guess, because I know I checked everything in that board except for I'd have no way of checking the CRT. I would have found out real fast if there was a focus grid bad on the CRT, but no, I didn't know. Couldn't check that. And they have a tester for flyback transformers. Also, I don't have one. I'm never going to get one. I could check those. So it goes to show you, though, you can repair stuff without schematics. And you don't need the fancy. I mean, I did that for many, many years, starting out as a teenager. And so I got it. So now I can't do anything with it as far as changing that thermistor, because I don't know what goes in there. There's so many values of cold temperature, and then the starting out, and then after it heats up, you know, the resistance on that. So I don't know which one goes on there. I found some numbers on there, and I put my mirror back there and looked, and I was able to get some numbers, but can't find nothing on the websites for that numbers. And so turn it back on, turn this light back out, and there it is, perfectly focused. And then when I removed this plug from this out of the board, I could tell the difference. So I went back and I adjusted the focus control, because I had it out to the extreme where it looked the best, the worst of the best of the worst, let's put it that way. And it was still so blurry. So when I got back here, I was able to go about midway on that focus. The potentiometer on the flyback. So I found a happy medium like midway. So the focus is working on the flyback. Your as far as the CRT, it's fine. The focus grid is working. So everything is working now. But I have to leave this off. I'll just tape it up and put it in the back, because I don't know which one. I don't have anything, and there's so many different types, values that could go in there. But I do know it's the positive temperature coefficient, the PTC type of a thermistor. So that I know. So that was the problem. But I was on the right track. I mean, anybody knows anything about TVs and say, well, okay, focus, focus, focus. Well, I focused. Then I finally said, well, I'm going to anything connected or related to that CRT. So I unplugged this, and bingo. I've never seen that before, but nevertheless, it's fixed now. So it's perfectly now. The collars and everything's working fine. Take my tape out of there. So, it's an experience for me, and hopefully maybe you can get some experience from it as far as anything's possible. I think it's, something was happening where it was drawing way more amps. I think it was too much resistance or something, and whatever, that's why that light was really lit up when you turn it on. And now that don't do that anymore. So I have to leave that to, like I say, the degaussing circuit out of it. It shouldn't get magnetized. Normal use. Keep anything, magnets away from everything. It should be fine. But that's all I can do. But at least I'm happy that the CRT is not bad. It's good. And then flyback is good. Flyback transformer. So just leave this unplugged. So, well, I hope you enjoyed it. Perhaps learned something. I sure did. And thanks for watching.